Hi everyone. Hello. My name is Moria and I'm based in Tel Aviv, Israel. I'm part of the Global Reactor team. And I'm joining today the session to be the moderator, and I will be here through the session to help the speakers and you get all the information that you need. So today's session is automation using low code, no code. And we have three great speakers joining us. We have Julia Moirori, Rachel Irabur, and Humphrey Moriungi. And you will hear them soon from their end sharing their presentations. Before we start, I wanted to let you know that this session is recorded and you can also ask us questions during the session using the comments box. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them and we will answer them. The speakers will answer them at the end. If you have any other questions, please also put it there, and I will also be here to moderate and help answer your questions. For those of you who new to the Reactor, so Microsoft Reactor is a global program help developers and students learn. We provide a learning opportunity for free, either online or in one of our local locations. So we have 12 global locations where we have Microsoft Reactors. But you can join us actually everywhere, and I'm gonna share the link to the Reactor website. You can find out on some information on our upcoming events. Okay, so that's it from my end. I'm gonna pass it over now to Humphrey to kick off today's session. So enjoy, everyone.
So, hello everyone. Yeah, thank you and welcome to our game of learners for our platform clinics. This is our fourth session since starting the game of learners clinics on our platform. Yeah, it's been a long journey and thank you for being with us all through since the beginning, the first session, the second, the third, and the fourth session now. Yeah, now for those who have not been with us, and if you have been with us and you would like to catch up with the rest, you can find the recordings and the resources shared by various speakers on the first link that you can see that on your screen. The get all resources, the aka.ms Joel per platform clinics. Yeah, you can get all the resources there. The blog, yeah, it has everything that you may have missed in the previous sessions. And also don't forget to join our Cloud Skill Challenge on MS Learn. You can also see the learning challenge there. You can go there and learn at your own pace, upskill, and don't forget to share what you are learning and what you are building using the local no-code platforms. In maybe in LinkedIn, Twitter, you can share using the hashtag Power Platform Clinics. Yeah, with that much said, maybe I will hand over to the next speaker, Yeah, I hope today you'll get to learn more and learn how you can automate your repetitive tasks. Yeah, so that you can take more seriousness on more important issues and tasks. Yeah, all the best, and don't forget to ask your any question that you may have on the chat box. We'll get it with and answer you perfectly. Yeah, uh, Rachel, Julia, I hand over to you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Rabo. I'm just going to go ahead and share my slides. Thank you very much, Humphrey. And okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to automation using low code and no code. So this is a very great opportunity to learn about Microsoft Power Automate, and I'm very aware that this challenge has been going on for a few weeks now. And today, so we are going to be learning about Microsoft Power Automate. And the agenda for today is to understand what is Power Automate, the types of Power Automate flow, when to use the different types of flow, understand the Power Automate environment, because that is very, very essential, especially when you want to learn and also you want to work with the Power Automate environment. And also we are going to understand different case studies we can use with Power Automate, and how to know the error in your flow. Maybe you are having an issue in your flow, or you are running a flow right now and the flow does not run. You want to understand what is happening, or maybe you want to tell someone that, okay, this is what happened to my flow. I'm going to show you how to see the issue that you have with your flow. Then the next thing, we are going to work on a demo. So let us go to the next slide. My name is Rachel Rabo. I'm a Microsoft Power Platform advocate, a Power Platform developer, and a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. And I'm passionate about community building. Yeah. So to understand what is Microsoft Power Automate, is one thing to understand first is that Power Automate is a tool in Microsoft Power Platform. That's very, very important to understand. And also with Microsoft Power Platform has your Microsoft Power Apps, your Microsoft Power Automate, your Microsoft Power BI, Power Visual Agent, and also your Microsoft Power Pages. So to understand your Microsoft Power Automate, when you have to break it down to a very simple term, you have a task that you have to run. You have a task that you have to run every day. Like you have to run that particular task every day. Maybe you have to send Excel sheets to your manager every 9 p.m. Like you have to send it to their email every 9 p.m. Or you have so many things you are doing. You can easily just, Microsoft Power Automate is a tool that you can use to cut down repetitive tasks. You get to automate the tasks. It makes life easier for you. Like so many things that you were supposed to, that you had to do, maybe your schedule is very tight. And you are thinking that, okay, how can I go from A to B? How can I go from B to C? How can I go from C to D? You can easily just automate the tasks. And especially for, let me say for the Excel sheet, it easily sends an email. Like you can automate that Excel sheet to send an email to your manager at a particular time in a day. So, and one also great thing about Microsoft Power Automate is that you can integrate it with different sources, different database. You can connect it to Gmail, you can connect it to Outlook, you can connect it to GitHub, like so many connectors. It does not have to be a Microsoft product. You understand? It does not have to be a Microsoft product. And even when that connector is not available, you can actually create a custom connector for it with an API. So if you can see from the screen, Power Automate is a cloud-based workflow automation platform provided by Microsoft. It can automate repetitive tasks and processes across various applications and services. So there are so many connectors. Even Salesforce, we have Salesforce, which is not a Microsoft product, but you can actually use it. There are so many things involved in Microsoft Power Automate. And when we get to the environment, I'm going to show you so many things you can do with Power Automate. So the key features of Power Automate is that it can work on your web, it can work on your desktop, and it can actually still work on your phone. Let me say, for instance, you have an approval flow. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing about an approval flow. Maybe you have a warehouse, you're working in a warehouse where you have to take permission from several persons. Like you have to ask them that, okay, I'm about to stock up on drinks, on water bottles. Is this, I want to go to the market and buy like 10 cartons of drinks. Should I go ahead? This is the paperwork. Should I go ahead? You have to take permission from several persons. And maybe most times, those persons that you want to take permission from, they are not around, or maybe they went for vacation. So you can easily just create a flow for this, like a Power Automate flow, where where your manager or any other person in charge gets to see an email. They get to see an email and they can easily just respond. If they can easily accept or reject your what you're asking for. And one other thing too is that you can still use your phone. Even though maybe sometimes, most times we miss our email, like maybe you might get an email and you miss that email. You can easily just use your phone to accept the approval flow. And there's also one thing to notice too is that you don't have to be a developer in order to use Power Automate. Like so many people are afraid, okay, maybe you are seeing Power Automate, you are seeing automation, you are seeing that it cuts down repetitive tasks, you understand me? And you are scared that, okay, I have to automate, like I have to code, I have to do so many things. How is this possible? What am I going to do? Stuff like that. So you don't have to be scared. You don't have to have a coding experience in order to use Microsoft Power Automate. And also it has, you can schedule, like what I said from the beginning, I said actually scheduling a flow to run at a particular time. You can schedule a flow that, okay, I want this flow to run by 10 p.m. I want this flow to run next week. I want this flow to run 3 times in a week. So the capabilities and possibilities are limitless, and it's awesome. So we're just going to go to the next slide, and we are going to understand what is the different types of Power Automate flow, because I've been mentioning flow. We have in Power Automate, we have the cloud flow, we have the business process flow, and we have the desktop flow. So in the cloud flow, it's actually like a flow used to run automated flow, used to run instant flow and scheduled flow. So for the scheduled flow is when you want your flow to run at a particular time. You want your flow to run at a particular day, how many times you want your flow to run. That's actually a scheduled flow. Then for your instant and automated flow, you get to you get to decide which type of flow you want to use. And also if you want to, like an event, it has to you have to, let me say for instance, the trigger, you have to run a flow before, like you have to do something before the flow will run, or you have to, it depends on the way you want your flow to run, which I'm definitely going to show you as we continue in the Power Platform, in the Power Automate environment, in order to understand better. Then also we also have triggers and actions. You are going to hear it a lot in the Power Automate environment. We have triggers and actions. The trigger is used to start a flow. It's used to start a flow, and they are actually connected to our connectors. Then your action, you want to tell what do you want your trigger to do. Like maybe for instance, I submitted a form for an event, and I'm trying to tell my flow that, okay, the responses, the emails gotten from this form, I want to send, I want each and every one of them to get an email. So that's actually an action. That's actually an action. Okay, what do you want your flow to do after connecting that particular flow? Then we have your desktop flow. Your desktop flows run on your desktop, and it's actually your robotic process automation. Like you can even, with desktop flow, you can record your flow and it will run, like you can record it on your system and it will run later. And the environment of your desktop flow is actually called your flow designer, where you have your attended and unattended flow. Then for the other type of Power Automate flow, it's your business process flow, where you want to give, like, you have you want to direct someone. Maybe the person got a job, you want to tell them that, okay, this is the step by step, it's like a guide. This is the step by step process to follow in order to avoid mistakes. And also there's also actually users experience in order to help direct them. And it can only be used with Dataverse, Microsoft Dataverse, and Dynamics 365, inside of Dynamics 365, and also Modern Driven App. Based on Modern Driven App uses Dataverse. So when to use the different types of flow, where we have like a desktop flow. Your desktop flows run on your desktop. It runs for legacy applications. Then also your cloud flow actually works on your, where you get to work it on your web, like your how will I put this now, where you have like you get to go to make.powerautomate.com. You go to make.powerautomate.com and you get to work on your flow, which is your cloud flow. Then your business process flow, which I already said before, you use it to a guide, like use it for a guide for your, for any person, maybe your company or your organization. Then we are going to just go back and see what the Power Automate environment is. We're going to understand the Power Automate environment, everything that we have here in the Power Automate environment. We're going to understand how to know the error in your flow and the different case studies. So let's just go ahead and work on that. Okay. So if you can notice, this is your Power Automate flow. So this particular part, you can go to the Power Automate flow with two different ways. Either you go to make.powerautomate.com or you can just go to office.com. Okay, you can go to office.com, then sign in with your account. Okay, just try. You can either use office.com okay, then you sign in, or you can use your make.powerautomate.com. And so we're just going to go ahead and understand what the environment is about. So when you get to this environment, you're going to notice the home screen where you see your name, or maybe where you see your name. What would you like to automate? You get to see all these things you are seeing here, they are all templates. You get to see different templates on your screen. You get to see all this you are seeing here, they are all learning materials. They are all learning materials that you can learn from Microsoft Learn. Then when you come to this particular place, you're going to see how to more to explore in Power Automate. You're going to know about the pricing, like the how how much it costs, and what maybe you want to, like for Microsoft Power Platform. It actually has, maybe you are learning, you are building projects, and you are thinking that, okay, I have to think about the costs, like I have to think about how much to pay based on maybe I'm not working, stuff like that. Microsoft actually created a license called an E5 developer license, where you can create an account, you can learn, you can build projects, and it's actually for free. So that's a great opportunity to think about too. Then we have this particular place, we have community forums, we have documentation, and the community forums are actually the Power Users group, where you have your Power Automate, maybe you have questions, or maybe you encountered any issue, you can reach out and people are going to help you. So we have documentations, and we also have future requests and common issues. So we are going to come down. All these are what is new, like new announcements on Power Automate. Then we're going to go to the next slide. So this particular place, this particular side of the screen is called Approver. Let me just increase my screen. This particular place is called Approver, where maybe you created an approval flow, and you want to know, you can get the history of your approval flow from this particular place. In this environment, I do not have an approval flow, but you get to see your approval flow from this environment. Then your flows, the flows you have run, you get to see them in this environment. Then maybe people who shared flows with you, you get to see it here. Then also desktop flows. So if you want to create a flow, you get to see, like when I was explaining the different types of Power Automate flow. So here we are seeing the automated cloud flow, the instant cloud flow, and the scheduled cloud flow. So the theory of this, they are all cloud flows. Then we also see there's a new capability that was created where you can tell your with AI, you can tell how you want your flow to be, like describe it and it will design it. Then we have your desktop flow and we also have your process advisor. Then if you come to this place, we have your templates where you get an opportunity to build flows without building from scratch. Like you get to search for which particular templates you want to use. I'm going to go to templates so that we can see them. So you see different connectors. You want to send email attachments from Outlook to Dropbox. Maybe you want to keep my schoolwork in sync with my Google Drive. So there's so much you can do. You don't have to think that okay, based on I'm not working, I'm looking for a job, or maybe I'm a student. Especially when you're a student, you are thinking, okay, what can I use Power Automate to do? So you can see you can actually use it for your schoolwork. You can use it AI. You have AI there. You can do so many things with it, and you can actually still explore the templates. So we are going to go to connectors. Okay, okay. Connectors is actually showing you connectors on your Power Automate. These parts you are seeing, they are all custom connectors. They were created by people. They are all custom connectors. Then we have all connectors. We have your Office 365 Outlook, SharePoint, Microsoft Dataverse. We have ROSS, SQL Server. You can see there are a lot. Just going to go through it. We have Slack. We have YouTube. There are so many. So this is a very big opportunity because you can do a lot, so much. And for this particular place, you have your data. When you click on tables, it directs you to Power Apps for Dataverse. Then we have connections. We have your connections. In this particular connections, while it loads, it's actually for connections, you have your connectors in your environment, like the connectors you have used to create a flow before. That is what is going to show here for you. So where you have your Twitter, your custom vision, whatever you have created, whatever flow you have connected to, they are all going to show in this particular place. Then the next thing we have is your custom connectors. So like what I said, like maybe there's a service you want to connect to or a database you want to connect to, and you notice that the connector is actually not in Power Automate. You can actually create a custom connector for it. You can either create from blank, you can create from Azure service where you have to have an Azure subscription. You can import from an open API file, import from an open API with URL, Postman collection, and also with GitHub. So the next thing we have here is actually gateways. You get to connect your machine with the cloud, like you get to download it into your system, then you get to log in your account details. You get to download it, then connect it to your system with your account. Then we have your monitor, where you get to monitor your cloud flow activity, like the cloud flow, your scheduled, automated, and instant cloud flow. You get to monitor it from this particular screen. Also, the same thing for desktop flow runs, and the rest. Yeah. Then for AI Builder, AI is actually an artificial intelligence. AI means artificial intelligence. So in after if you open the drop down for AI Builder, we have models. So I'm just going to wait for my screen to load. But we have models where your you can actually create an AI model. You can train your model. You can actually train your model, and you can do a lot with AI Builder. And before going ahead, you get to create a trial account, especially for me, I'm actually using a developer account, so I have to create a trial account that lasts for 30 days. So then we have document automation. Okay, you can see document automation. You can see these are all AI. You can see different things you are doing. Okay. Okay, all this part of it, they are actually coming soon. Then we have your process advisor. Your process advisor actually gives you insights into your flow, gives you insights into your flow. Then we have your solutions. Okay, we have your solutions. Okay, I think. Okay, we have your solutions where you see data where you can export and actually import. Okay, where you can import solutions, you can create solutions. So we're just going to go to the home screen. So the next thing I'm going to show you now is that if you have any question, please feel free to ask them on the chat. Then one other thing too, we're going to go ahead and work on an already existing flow in order to understand maybe maybe when you are creating a flow and you see that okay, the flow, maybe the flow failed and you're trying to understand okay, what happened to this particular flow. I'm just going to check a flow I ran before and see how we can do that. So I'm just going to click on save and click on test. Okay. So how I click on test and I clicked on automatically because I've actually run this flow before. I get to click on field, then I test flow. So I'm just going to see what happens. We'll see what it shows us. So you can see from this particular place, it's actually telling me that the media type unrecognized. Media type unrecognized, client requests. I'm just going to come down and see what it's showing us. It's showing us 400, status 400, that is bad requests. So then I'm going to check the raw inputs. So share Twitter. You can see what I was trying to post. So we're just going to say, so this is the issue. It's telling me that my media type is unrecognized. So in case maybe you have an issue and you are trying to explain that, okay, I created a flow and the flow is not running. Even when you don't understand what to do, you can easily reach out to anyone and tell them that, okay, this is what is happening with my flow. Or you can just come up here and just screenshot your screen and send it to anyone you want to ask a question. So I'm just going to next thing, click on edit and see how we can resolve this particular flow. But there's one thing I'm going to check first. I'm going to check that if this particular, okay, we're just going to start from scratch to understand what is happening here. Okay. I'm going to show you. Let me start from create. Okay, we have our automated cloud flow. Then I'm just going to look for the trigger. So what I'm trying to do here is that I'm trying to do it that anytime I upload a video on YouTube, I want it that it sends a message on Twitter that okay, I've uploaded a video on YouTube. So I don't have to go through the stress of typing it out with the link and everything. I can just easily automate that. So I'm just going to click on the trigger here is when I upload a video and click on create. So you can see this is my trigger, which connects me to my connector, the YouTube connector. You can see this particular icon you're seeing here is actually YouTube. The next thing I'm going to do is to click on next new step and look for Twitter. Okay, you can see the Twitter. Then I'm actually looking for post a tweet. Post a tweet. Okay. If my like since I'm doing it now and I've already connected to these connectors, maybe I was not connected. You're going to see where it will ask me that, okay, let me try doing that to make it easier, especially for those who are just starting out. I'm going to see how to go through it. Okay. I'm going to go to connections and delete those connectors I've connected to before. So let's just wait a bit. Okay. I'm just going to remove this, this, and this. So, okay. So we are going to go ahead and just create the flow, automated cloud flow. So YouTube. Okay, so sign in to create a connection to YouTube. So I'm just going to click on sign in. Then select my account. Okay, then the next thing for me to do is to allow permission for, you can see Microsoft Power Platform wants to access your Google account. So I'm just going to click on allow. Okay, so it's creating. So that has been connected. Then the next step is to click on new step and look for the connector for Twitter. So then the action is post a tweet. So the action is post a tweet. So your tweet text, what do I want my tweet text to be about? Okay. I think this is supposed to ask me. So, okay. Let's delete that and add it again. Okay, what I'm trying to check why it's working or not is that, okay, so I need to save this and go back to, I need to go back because I already deleted that connection. I already deleted the Twitter connection. So there's actually something wrong with it. So I have to notice what the issue is. Yeah, okay. Okay, connected. I'm going to try deleting that. Then this particular one is not working. Okay, just going to click on delete. Okay, let me just refresh and see if what I did worked. Okay. Okay, it's still connected. I don't know what's happening, but let's try that and see if it does not work. We're just going to go ahead with the flow. Okay. If you have any questions, just feel free to drop them on the chat. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's start again from the beginning. So I'm just going to click on automated cloud flow. Look for the YouTube. Look for YouTube. Okay. Okay. Then why it's showing like this is that I've already connected to YouTube, the YouTube connector already. I've signed in with my account. So the next thing I'm going to look for now is Twitter. Post a tweet. Okay. This is perfect. So your authentication type is actually, we are using use default shared application. Then we're going to click on sign in. So clicking on sign in, I'm just going to add my password, then click on authorize app. Then I'm going to add my authentication code. Okay, just going to, okay, let's try that. See if it works. Okay, the code was, I did not get the code. Let me try it again. Okay, just going to delete it and add it back and see if we can get the code. And it's actually not necessary you getting the code. The reason why I'm being sent a code is that I have an authentication, a two-step authentication on my account. Okay, this page is down. Okay, let's try that again and see what happens. That does not work. I'm going to show you something else. Let's try for the last time. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to come back to it, hopefully. So let's try something else. Let's say, for instance, you are holding an event, like maybe you have like this event right now. You actually registered for it, at least most of us here registered for the event, and you got sent a message. So want to do something like, okay, now we are holding an event, a challenge, and you are asked to fill a Microsoft form. So we're just going to go ahead to fill a Microsoft form, going to forms. So what I'm trying to establish here is that, okay, I have an event I'm hosting, and I actually shared a link with people that, okay, I want you to fill this form. I want you to fill this form. Then instead of, at the end of the day, instead of me sending it manually to each person that, okay, hi Rachel, thank you, this is the link for the event, or this is the location of the event, I can actually just automate the process and send a personalized email to each and every of the person who filled the form. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new form. Okay. Okay, let's just wait a bit for that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just okay, text name, then also I think this is perfect. Then just going to leave that. Then go back to Power Automate and click on Create Flow. So for this particular cloud flow, I'm going to be using an instant cloud flow. For an instant cloud flow, like an event has to happen. Like when I feel, if not that particular flow I was trying to do, I have did not actually work, you would have seen the difference between the automated cloud flow and the instant cloud flow. Your instant cloud flow is triggered manually. Like when you, let me just go ahead and create the form so that we can see what happens. Like when you automate it and you submit the form, the flow does not run immediately. Something has to happen, like an event has to happen before the flows runs. Like the action, what you're asking the flow to do has to happen first before that particular flow will run, before the automated cloud flow will run. Okay. The instant cloud flow will run. So what we are using now is actually, sorry. Okay, so what we are using now is when a new response is submitted. And if you can see here, this is your Microsoft form. This is your Microsoft form connector, and this is a trigger. So I'm just going to click on it. And if you want to understand what this does, you can see this operation triggers a flow when a new response is submitted. So I'm just going to click on create. Then I'm going to look for my form ID. My form ID is Microsoft Reactor, meaning the name of my form. So I'm just going to search for it here. Then the next step is to your action, which is get response details. If you go through this challenge, you are going to learn a lot about Microsoft Power Automate and also Microsoft Power Platform. So I'm just going to click on get response details. Then the form ID, the same thing I did, which is Microsoft Reactor event. Then also we have our response ID. Okay. See, it's supposed to show a dynamic con. Okay, see what's wrong. Okay. So if you see on this particular place, your response ID is to actually get the responses from the form. Like if you can notice from the form, we have our name, we have our email address. So I want to get the responses from that form. So I'm just going to click on this, then click on select parameter. But most times you might just see on that place that add dynamic content. So I'm just going to look at it here. You can see response ID. Just going to click on that. Okay. Strange. Okay. I don't know why I'm having issues with this account. Okay, we're going to try something else. Going to try something else. Okay. I'm going to sign into another account and see what's happening. Okay, it's perfect. And don't forget, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask your question. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue with the flow. Okay. Then also, if you notice, this is a new account, so I have to actually go back and create my form because I was actually using a different account and this is another account. So I cannot actually connect this account to that account's Microsoft form. So I have to just create one. Okay, new form. Let's just see how it works in order to understand how the flow runs, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. I'm just going back to my flow. Then I'm going to say check for that particular form. can see Microsoft Reactor. I'm going to go back. Then the next thing is the action, which is get response details. Okay, hopefully this account is working. Get response details. Okay. See how to remove this. Still having the same issue. Okay. I'm supposed to see a dynamic content and okay. If this does not work, let's just go to my flows. I'm going to show you flows I've created and just show you how it works. Okay, I'm just going to show you from the flow I've created already. Okay, this is a different flow. Okay, I'm just going to. So what this particular flow is actually doing here, just going to go back and show you another flow in order to understand the demo I'm trying to work on. What was wrong? Trying to. Okay, let's try another environment. Okay, let's try this. To understand what is wrong. Okay, so what I was trying to do in that particular flow was that this is our trigger when a new response is submitted. You have your form, then your get response detail. You have your it has your connected to that particular form, which is your form ID. Then you have your response ID, which you get from your dynamic content. You get to see your add dynamic content at this particular point. You add the responses from the form. The form has the name, the email address. You get those responses from the form. Anything the person who has filled the form, the data of the form, you get it from this response ID. So if you hover on it, you're going to see what is actually bringing the what is actually bringing. Then the next thing we have the action. We have this action, which is send an email v2. It's actually an Office Outlook connector. It works very well like it works very well like maybe you're trying to send an email. Maybe you're trying to send an email, you're trying to send it to Rachel, which is your tool. And your dynamic content here is actually email address. It's bringing every email that was filled in that particular form this particular place. You get to name the subject, then the body of the form, the body of this particular connector is maybe you are trying to message the person that okay, thank you for attending my events. Thank you for attending my events. And you also get to make it personalized where it does not look so general. You're trying to say, hi, thank you for attending this event. Kind regards, Rachel. You can actually send it to that particular with that person's name, where you get to say, hi, Rachel, hi, Humphrey, hi, Julia. You get to address that particular person. So just going to click on save. Then run the flow. In order to run the flow, I have to click on test, click on manually, then I can also click on automatically. These are the flows that have run before, but I can click on manually, then click on test. So if you can notice from this particular point, you can see that to see it work now, submit a new response to the selected form. So we're just going to look for that particular form. Okay, I'm going to look for that particular form. Okay, this is the form. Okay, then I'm going to click on collect responses, then get the URL. Okay, so I get to fill my name. I get to fill my email address. Okay, then submit. So I'm going to go back to that flow and see if the flow ran. You can see your flow ran successfully. So we're just going to, and there's also one thing you can notice too is that we're going to open each of these particular connectors to see what happened. I'm just going to click on this send an email v2 and you can see what it sent. You can see the body of the text. Hi, Rachel Irabo. Thank you for attending this event. So you can see how personalized it is. And this, my name is showing because of that particular dynamic content. So we're just going to check it if it's worked. So you can see this is the email. Okay, I think that's perfect. Then also, I think, okay. Hi, Julia. And one other thing too, you have to take notice too. You can see that you can check the history of your flow. Like you can just easily just click on it. Let me just show you how to check the history of your flow. You can just click on this and you can come down to this particular place. You can see the history of your flow. You can see how, and you can also, maybe for instance, maybe that flow failed. You can just click on this, click on that particular day it ran. You can click on that particular day it ran, and you can also check it, maybe to also notice if it had an error or anything. Yeah. So thank you. Hi, Julia. Hi, Humphrey.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Rachel, for that session. Humphrey, I don't know if you have any questions for Rachel.
Yeah, so yeah, that was an awesome presentation, Rachel. Okay, I don't know what guys have to say about it. Yeah, but for me, it has been a word of presentation seeing how you can easily automate different tasks using the tool Power Automate. Yeah, for me, okay, that is the okay. I can say this is my most used tool in Power Platform. Yeah, because I love to automate different tasks that I carry out during my usual activities here day by day. But I don't know that there is a theory. I don't know if it is a theory that people say you may find that people take a like maybe an whole hour to automate a task that they could have handled in 10 minutes. I don't know how true is that, but I guess the automating thing itself is just fun and yeah, you see things run by themselves without you doing anything. By just a click of it, everything is done. Yeah, maybe what I could like to ask Rachel, maybe she can try and explain how people can leverage different, how they can use expressions to further their or improve their flows, maybe to get maybe specified data or maybe like maybe key ones from emails, maybe Twitter. Yeah,
You said expressions, right?
yeah,
Okay, in the Power Automate environment, you can use expressions where you have to use different functions. Like you get to, sorry, you get to use different functions in Power Automate. They're actually online. You get to see the add function. There's also one I love a lot. Maybe you are trying to make it that any maybe the person fills a form and the person leaves spaces in the form. You get to use that particular function that even though the person leaves a lot of space, the function actually clears it for you and that particular flow runs. Because there are a lot of things that might affect your flow. You get to use the UTC now function for your time. You get to use it for your time. There are so many functions you can use in expressions. Yeah, it's mostly using functions, and also you can connect it to your dynamic contents. You can use your a function and use a dynamic content inside of that function. Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
maybe
So
another
Rachel,
question. Maybe yeah, it is
Okay.
okay. Julie, you can
Okay.
yeah, so I just wanted to throw you under the bus and ask you which is your favorite flow so far. So I believe you've worked with flows for a while, so I'm just curious to understand which has been your favorite automation so far.
Okay, my favorite flow has been Microsoft Forms because I host a lot of events. So my favorite flow has been Microsoft Forms, SharePoint, because it gives me an opportunity that maybe I want to get that particular data stored in I want to get it stored. I don't want to take it manually. I don't want to go through the process of I have to download an Excel sheet, then I have to also take it straight to SharePoint. I can actually just use the create item action in SharePoint and just walk through it. Yeah.
Awesome. So before I ask Humphrey the same question, I think mine would be using the Twitter connector. So
Yeah.
actually, in the first session, I actually set out a flow. So in case either of you shares what you've learned today on Twitter and you use the hashtag Power Platform Clinics. So if right now you actually go to Twitter, share something that you've learned from this session and use the Power Platform Clinics hashtag, my Twitter account is automatically going to retweet that without me having to go to Twitter. So I think that's one of my favorite use cases where I'm able to actually follow along in conversations without having to be there, on Twitter at the same time. So I actually challenge you from what you've learned from today's session, kindly go on Twitter, share what you've learned, and use Power Platform Clinics hashtag, and you'll actually be able to see Power Automate in action. So Humphrey, I don't know if you have a favorite flow.
okay. Okay, for my favorite flow, okay, I can say the same thing is the automate and the flow and leveraging the Excel and the Microsoft Forms because as the same case I do send a lot of emails and so yeah, it is tiresome maybe to send the emails one by one. So it is easy to automate all maybe setting if it's with attachment, maybe it's generating a certificate or maybe setting other maybe attachment like PDF, Excel. Yeah, it's just simple and fun to do that using the Microsoft Flow.
Awesome, that's good. So I don't know if you want to talk through this slide
Okay,
on
okay.
what's
On
next.
your idea, on the person who will share that what he or she has learned on the Power Platform on automation using the Power Automate. Okay, the one who will share maybe maybe you let me know. I have a LinkedIn Premium. Maybe I would like to give that to the one who will share what he or she has done through the session, and yeah, maybe he will use it.
Oh wow, that's great. That's great. I hope everyone has had that. So there's definitely something you can get once you share the most on social media. So yeah, kindly do so. Also tag us so that we'll be able to follow along in what you share. So Humphrey, do you want to close off the call?
Yeah, yeah. So it has been an awesome session throughout going throughout the flows, type of flows, seeing how they work, customizing different connectors using templates. Yeah, it has been awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for joining throughout the session. Yeah, wherever you have been joining. We know today is Valentine's, but you have sacrificed yourself to be here today. Yeah, you could have gone out somewhere, but yeah, you decided to come in and join and learn with us. So thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. So the platform clinics continues this week on the 16th. We are having another session. It will be on data analysis in our platform. I hope you can see it on your screen. So you can check on the link, maybe register, and you can add it on your calendar so that you can get a reminder when it draws near to start. Yeah. Don't forget to share what you learn on Twitter, any social media. Use the hashtag Power Platform Clinics. Go join our Cloud Skill Challenge. Learn at your own pace. Finish up the modules that I'll set there. Yeah, and maybe if you